So, you're thinking about buying a home or property in Idaho. First off, congratulations. Second, though, strap in because along with the gorgeous mountain views, endless tales of incredible lake view hikes and rafting trips, well, you are also gonna hear a whole lot of, let's just call them creative truths. You'll be hearing these from colleagues, sellers, other real estate professionals, and yep, probably your neighbor's gym buddy's daughter who swears she's an expert because she binge watches HGTV. So stick with us today as we cover the top 10 lies and misconceptions that could be costing you thousands of dollars or needlessly adding stress and restless nights to your life. And well, could even possibly cost you your chance at scoring your dream home. Let's break it all down right now. First though, if this is your first time visiting our channel and you're looking to learn everything there is to know about living, breathing, raising a family, just really doing all the things right here in the Boise Treasure Valley, please take 2 seconds to hit that little subscribe button. My husband Andy and I absolutely love our YouTube reach outs, turn clients, turn friends, and we'd love the opportunity to help you through the journey as well. Okay, enough of that, let's dive in. Lie number 1. Everyone who is currently buying a home here in the Treasure Valley is paying all cash. While cash offers have become more common here, particularly with our out-of-state buyers and or retirees who have built up equity with previous home purchases and investments, contrary to popular belief, most homes in Boise's and its surrounding Treasure Valley are still being purchased using financing. This year to date, roughly 24% of all single-family home purchases were done with all cash, leaving the remaining 76% of transactions involving lending. So if you've been told that you won't be able to compete in our local market if you are not paying all cash, that's just not the case. In fact, we have had several clients using financing this year beat out other full cash offers. So please don't trust the media outlets that have been spreading that hoopla.
Fake news.
So for this one, just be sure that you understand that if you're using financing for your purchase, we can absolutely still make it happen. Lie number 2, buying a fixer-upper is always a great way to save money. Sometimes people get it in their heads that they can affordably fix up a home. It's like,
I don't care, it's only $300,000, and I'm very handy. I mean, I met you on YouTube, right, Marcy? I know how to YouTube things, and I can totally go the DIY route.
But well, over recent years, the cost of labor and materials has absolutely skyrocketed. So in the end, by going with a fixer-upper, you could potentially be spending way more money than you budgeted for. Because here's the honest truth. While I will likely love your vision, good on ya, once you start knocking down walls, ripping up floors, well, guess what? We really can never know exactly what is behind those walls or under those floors. And well, you could be buying into a full-on money pit. If you're shaking your head right now watching this and you're just hell-bent on going the fixer-upper route, please use this little tidbit as a rule of thumb, as it's something that we always encourage our clients who go with fixers-uppers to do. Please take some time to make a big old spreadsheet with all of the associated costs that you can think of. And then once you have that total, well, I want you to add 25% to it, because with fixer-uppers, it is practically guaranteed that you are going to run into some snags along the way that you just were not expecting.
Why did you buy this place?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
And I think we can all agree that when it comes to purchases as big as a house, because as I always say, we're buying a house, not a sweater, let's err on the side of caution and estimate high, and then hopefully be pleasantly surprised. Just please be sure to provide yourself with a cushion of sorts, because, well, no, buying a home that's a fixer-upper in today's market is rarely ever the most economical decision, long-term or short-term wise. Now, don't get me wrong, if there is a home that comes along in your absolute dream location and it's the one you have been waiting for, and you truly are incredibly handy and you can do the work yourself, or you know you can afford to bring in licensed professionals to do the work for you, by all means, go for it. But please just know that in today's market and with today's labor and material prices, it is not going to be the cheapest or albeit most affordable route to take. Lie number 3, buying is always better than renting. Yeah, I understand this thought process and that it's better to be paying a mortgage and not flushing money down the drain every month. And of course, with a mortgage, you also get some write-offs for tax purposes. I get it, I do. However, if you are moving to Idaho from another state and just really do not have your head wrapped around all the different areas and where you really want to be, well, we have found that a lot of people misjudge just how big the Treasure Valley is. So it could very well turn out that you would be better off renting, even if it's just for 3 to 6 months, so you can explore the area and really flesh out where you want to be before buying. And yes, here I am as a realtor telling you that maybe buying is not the best option for you, but well, that very well might be the case. And then to add to all of that, a recent study conducted by Bankrate found that renting is actually increasingly more affordable for people today than buying. Just straight out, renting could very easily be cheaper for you than buying, and it might just be the best decision for you. And then another thing I want to mention is that if you are the type of person who can't stay put for more than 3 to 4 years and then you just get kind of itchy and want to move again, well then buying a home very well might not be the best decision for you, and it actually could potentially cost you more money overall. Why, you ask? Because when you go to sell, you're going to have all the expenses that go into selling a home. And well, those do and can add up quickly. And then additionally, for whatever reason, we have noticed that for our clients who like to move every few years, because yes, there are people out there like that, well, for whatever reason, they also tend to be the people and have the personalities that prefer to make a bunch of changes and upgrades to their properties that they think they will get instant equity out of. And unfortunately, that's really just not typically the case, especially when it comes to a relatively quick turnover.
So do you understand how much money I paid for that?
You paid money for this, sir?
Moving on to lie number 4. Buying new construction is super easy. Just pick your house and move in. Quick move-in and spec homes can at times absolutely offer convenience, but not always. And then additionally, they almost always come with limited customization options and oftentimes longer wait periods. And then if you are planning on going the semi-custom route, the price that the sales team is so proudly displaying in the gorgeous model home that you walk through, well, that price is just the base price. Chances are that if you want to replicate the gorgeous, all decked out for the prom version of the model home that you just walked through, you'll likely be putting in an additional 20 to 25 to even 30% in upgrades in the design center. So the added stress and costs that can come from going the semi-custom route is sometimes just not worth it in the long run. If you know that you prefer new or newish homes, fabulous, let's roll with that. But I would also highly encourage you not to fully turn your back on the possibility of resale or a pre-existing home, because very often going that route can be a lot less stressful, costly, and time-consuming. So if you reach out to us and you say, hey, I think we really want a new home or a new-ish home, we are going to continually emphasize that we also consider the new-ish, and we show you some pre-existing resale homes. Is there a chance that new construction and a move-in ready spec home is going to be your perfect fit? Absolutely. But is there also the chance that we might go into a resale home that has all the window treatments done and the curbing done and all the landscaping dialed, and that's going to be a better fit? Possibly. So I would just highly encourage you to keep an open mind on that one, which my husband Andy and I will be with you every step of the way to ensure happens. Lie number 5. Homes always build equity, and real estate is always going to go up in value.
Nope, absolutely not.
Tell that to the people who bought a home prior to 2008. Now look, does real estate appreciate in value over time? Yes, it does, absolutely it does. But are there going to be dips and ebbs in the market? Yes, and it doesn't mean that your value is going to tank. It will eventually go up, but maybe not immediately. And then if you are one who loves Zillow's estimates, and I know there are a lot of you out there, please know that those values, especially here in Idaho, because Idaho is a non-disclosure state, so what that means is that our sales prices are not public knowledge. So how Zillow is computing those estimates is just based off of list price and not actual sales price. So that can really skew things and really just calculate a pretty bogus number. We've had home sellers call us up before super excited because the Zestimate on their home has gone up and they think, wow, this must be the perfect time to sell. Or if the value goes down, they freak out thinking they are losing money. But here's the deal, the housing market is not the stock market. So while yes, real estate appreciates over a period of time, chances are over that said period of time, there are going to be dips and ebbs along the way. Once you know that, there is a lot of peace that comes with it.
He said not to panic! He said not to panic!
Lie number 6, or more like just a widespread misconception. You need to be able to put 20% down to buy a house.
Nope, 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 nope. No, I did not.
No, you don't. You do not need to put 20% down to buy a house. Now, if the market is super competitive and you are trying to buy a home that already has multiple offers in on it, will your offer be stronger if you put more money down? Yes, absolutely, because competition-wise, it's gonna make you look stronger financially, and it gives the sellers the feel that you have more skin in the game. But that is not always the case. It really just depends. We just had a client close 3 days ago with only 3% down, and his parents, who are also our clients, who we helped buy during the peak in our market, so back in 2021, they said, "How in the heck did you guys do that?" And well, that was because at the time when they were buying, there were so many multi-offer situations that going in with just 3% down simply wasn't a viable option at the time. Now, over the years, we have helped veterans with VA loans put 0% down. So that's just one additional example because I just need you to understand that there are lots of options and possibilities for you to consider. Now, of course, the more you can put down on your house, the smaller your mortgage will be, meaning your monthly mortgage payment is going to be less. But what is going to make the most sense for you is going to come down to your unique financial situation and goals, all of which a good lender can talk through with you and provide you with multiple scenarios so you can talk through and walk through what makes the most sense for you. And there's a very good chance that putting 20% down isn't going to be it. So please eradicate that number from your head. Lie number 7, your pre-approval interest rate will be the rate you'll get when you close.
Nope. Nope, 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 nope.
This is one that really tends to confuse people and just kind of mislead them. And I get it. People go online to those online mortgage services and see some seemingly fantastic rates. So they go ahead and get pre-approved, which good on you. Yes, we want you to get pre-approved for sure. But then if you're thinking, great, I've got this killer rate and can afford way more than the other local lender I reached out to told me I could, that might not be the case. And we do not want you to go through the whole home buying process and then once you are under contract on the perfect home, start the underwriting process and have the mortgage company that you found online take a deeper dive into your finances and credit and then come to you and say that they've discovered that your debt to income rate is too high, or maybe your credit isn't stellar, or perhaps you had a messy divorce and a few mortgage payments were missed. Whatever it may be, they can really impact rates, and it's just not a fun experience. Case in point, we had a client just a few months ago who had gotten fully pre-approved and we had them under contract to buy a house. They were talking to both a big name bank as well as a local lender here. And we'd advised them to wait to make their decision until we were a little bit further down in the process about which lender they were going to use. And they were verbally processed a lower rate initially from the big name bank, while the local lender's rate was a little bit higher. So they went through the whole process only to find out that the big bank had some fine print that basically found issue with his credit, and because he owned a business and then they dug deeper into their finances, they ultimately ended up charging him with a higher rate. Meanwhile, the local lender was able to stay with that initially higher by comparison rate, but that was significantly better than what the big bank ended up landing with. So they ended up going with the local lender. So please just plan to read the fine print, read it all, and do not bank on the fact that what you were quoted on the pre-approval will be the exact rate you get when you close. Also, interest rates fluctuate daily. When you're going through the process, once you are under contract, your lender can and will lock you in. And once you are locked in, that is going to be your final rate. But again, what you are quoted at the very beginning of the process, so when you're doing the pre-approval, will most likely be different from what you get at the end. So please just be aware of that. And then if this is something you are concerned about, there is a section in our Idaho offer paperwork where we can state a max rate. So that would effectively serve as a financial contingency that could safeguard you if rates were to suddenly increase significantly. Moving on to lie number 8. The home inspection will find absolutely 100% everything that is wrong with your house.
Oh.
And no, I am not ragging on our local home inspectors here, not at all. But I want you to understand this one because it's important. Sometimes people go into the inspection thinking, okay, so the inspector is going to tell me everything there is about this house, all of the ins and outs, and point out any and everything that is wrong with the house. And yes, they are going to tell you a lot about it, but they will not know what is going on underneath the floors or behind the walls. So this is something that's really important for you to understand. Assuming assuming you have a good home inspector, yeah, they will be telling you all about the major components of the house, and they are going to point out anything that they note that is an issue or could potentially lead to a problem down the road. Home inspectors are also there to educate you about the home. So things like how to operate the furnace, the AC, find out where the emergency shutoff is for the gas or the water. All of those kinds of questions are great to ask your inspector. But please note that even the best of inspectors do not have X-ray vision.
I can't see through walls.
What do you mean you can't?
So while yes, having an inspection is 100% advisable, please know that there is a chance that not every single small and minute issue will be called out. Number 9, you do not need your own real estate agent to represent you on the purchase of your home. Now hold up, I know there are some of you out there rolling your eyes right now thinking,
Okay, so here's this real estate chick telling me I need her to help me buy a home.
that is not what I'm saying at all. And you know, if you have bought and sold homes in the past and you want to go and have a go at it on your own, by all means, have at it. But if you are new to this, or it's been years since you bought or sold a home, it's very likely going to end up costing you, as the buyer, more than it would if you had your own agent. Because unless you are very familiar with the current negotiation process in our local market, or what red flags to be looking for, you are going to end up spending, or rather losing, more money than you would if you were to work with an experienced and dedicated agent. You not only want, but deserve to have an agent who has your back, and who will help you get the very best bang for your buck. And hey, just FYI, we have sold a lot of homes since that NAR settlement took effect just 1 year ago. You know, the one that the media made it sound like the whole home buying process was about to change and buyers were suddenly going to be 100% responsible for paying their buyer's agent commission. And well, guess how many of our buyers have had to pay us even 1 cent of our commission since that settlement took effect?
This is Jeopardy!
0. That's how many. Well, that looked like 1, but 0. That's how many. And you want to know why? Because we know the market and know how to negotiate to ensure that the only thing you are paying for is your house. It truly only serves in your best interest to have your own representation when you're buying a home. And well, if you are currently working with an agent that you do not feel has your best interest at heart, guess what? Find a new agent. There are a lot of us out there, and you deserve to have one that you know, like, and trust, and one who will ultimately get you the best home and deal possible. And then on this note, if you are thinking of going the new construction route and are planning on working directly with the builder sales team, thinking you will get a better deal, that's just not going to happen either. Contrary to popular belief, or rather wishful thinking, builders will not deduct the percentage that they have already put aside to cover buyer agent commission from your sales price. So by going in and signing up with a builder sales team directly, you are basically forfeiting your right to have your own representation and your own agent who's looking out solely for your best interest. Because while the salesperson you meet is likely very knowledgeable about the homes they're selling, because those are their products, and the builder process, they're going to know all that, they are also salaried employees who are paid by the builder. So whose best interest is top of mind for them? Their employer, the builder, of course, right?
What? No. I need you to have my back.
Thanks, Marcy.
Lie number 10. You have to work with the lender who provided you with your initial pre-approval letter. You absolutely do not. You can and should shop out rates. You 100% do not have to go with the bank or the lender that initially pre-approves you. If you find a better rate with another lender, you can absolutely switch and go with them. And then if you are looking into new construction, a lot of the builders now have their in-house lender or a preferred list of lenders that if you choose to work with will result in the builder upping either an incentive, so a credit at close, so say they'll go from $20,000 initially up to $25,000. And then on this note, what do you think? Do you think you should always go directly with the builder's in-house or preferred lender to get that additional $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000? No, not always. What we tell our clients to do is to go ahead and get pre-approved with another local lender, if not 2 or 3, and then also get pre-approved with the builder's lender, because then, well, you have everything you need on hand and in front of you to ensure you are comparing your options apples to apples. And honestly, we have seen it go both ways. Sometimes the builder's lender can absolutely offer you a better rate and deal overall, but then other times, that's just not the case. So putting in the time to get multiple opinions and options for your purchase is always going to be worth it. And yes, I know that the whole mortgage and loan process isn't fun. There's absolutely nothing sexy about a mortgage, right? A house is another thing, but a mortgage?
Gross.
Overall though, assuming you are buying with financing, putting in the time to get multiple opinions from different lenders can easily save you thousands and or even help you get your dream house. So what do you think? Are you currently buying or considering buying a home here in Idaho, or maybe you already have? And is there something that you have been really surprised to learn about, or a misconception that you want to share? Let me know down in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I know other viewers would as well. And then if this is your first time to our channel, please tap that little subscribe button so we can stay in touch. And then last but not least, if you are looking to learn everything there is to know about living in the Treasure Valley, we have a completely free, no strings attached relocation guide that you can download and peruse through at your leisure. This is the physical version. I'll try not to knock them all over. It's just packed with useful information about the various cities and all sorts of stuff. I will put a link in the description of this video for you to check out so you can download your copy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you next time.